Hello, everyone, and welcome back to If Music Be the Food of Love, Stream On. Very excited tonight. We have a wonderful musician, Severiano Paoli. He's been on the chat, he's been on the stream before, and he's coming with a new program this time, which I think might be a new program that's never been performed before, and he's trying it out on our streaming service. So we're very honoured to have that. It's going to be called Upon a Ground from the Renaissance to New Orleans, and it's all about ground basses and how they're used throughout history and throughout musical history. And if you saw his stream before, you will notice that he had lots and lots of fabulous instruments and showed us all how they worked and all about them, which was fantastic. So I'm going to put some details about Severiano in the chat, so you can go check out his website. And he's also on Facebook under the same name if you want to find out anything more. I think he also makes rosin for bows, so maybe check that out as well. And just before I go and hand over, I wanted to ask any of you who are watching, if you have fiver spare this month, would you please consider giving us a monthly Twitch subscription, because it really helps. At the moment, all of our musicians are doing this out of the goodness of their own hearts, and for any donations that you make. So any donations you make to our PayPal, if you put their name, it will go straight to them. But I would love to get to the point where we can actually start paying our musicians a guaranteed payment, which we can do if people subscribe. So we have a nice little goal at the moment, which is 20 subscribers by my birthday. So yeah, try and make my birthday wish come true and let me start paying my musicians. Okay, shameless begging is now complete. And I hope you're all ready and all excited to be joined by Severanio Paoli, who I'm going to hand over to just now.
Hi Kat, hi everyone. I see myself now, so I think I'm live. So, hi everyone. Thank you Kat for hosting me here again, and yeah, welcome. So, let's get to it. Let's get about today's theme, the theme of this concert. So, upon ground bases from the Renaissance to New Orleans sounds quite wokey to me. I mean, something that covers what? 600 years? How can, Renaissance and New Orleans be related? That's sort of bizarre. Hang on, that I see myself lagging, and that's not the right thing. Okay, solved. So, all the concept of today came from me from once one thing I've heard from my father, actually, who once said, yeah, but all these songs sound the same, all you keep hearing the same things all the time. And I would not agree, because of course music is really varied. There's plenty of different things, different harmonies, different rhythms throughout history. Yet I thought maybe he has a point, and he had it, because I've discovered there are some elements in music that are sort of evergreen. They go through the ages. That started a long time ago, and still we can find them still in modern music. And I said, okay, so I really want to get into it, and I really want to show the world how some music is, will be there forever, because these are elements that are amazing. Now, let me stop talking and let's check this. Just one last thing. What is a ground bass? Simple as that. A ground bass is a bass that repeats itself, and on which you can sing, you can dance, and you can improvise. Plenty of music is based on this sort of element, and the first one that you're going to hear is called Passamezzo Antico. Alright, so this was the first. Wait a moment, I think I have to mute myself because I can hear. Yeah. Thank you, Kat. I just need to discover how to mute myself in here. Alright, so what have I just done? Simply, I have improvised, literally, on a rhythmical structure that is stable, that is this. This rhythmical structure stays constant, repeats itself, and then you have the opportunity to improvise on it, to dance. These are all dances fundamentally. This is called passamezzo antico, which means a step and a half, and you can pretty much mess around the way you want. Now that you've heard it, I would like you to think if you've ever heard this harmony somewhere else. Think about it while I play the next. The next one is called a romanesca. Does this sound familiar to you? I guess it does. This is Greensleeves. This is the second part of Greensleeves. And how does it work fundamentally? The so this the first ostinato that they played. Oh, yeah. About this question, I actually sampled I sampled the other parts and recorded them, made a little mashup, let's say. So you have for sure recognized Greensleeves. That is this wonderful English song from the Renaissance. Greensleeves is fundamentally the first ostinato I played, the first ground bass, plus the second, because and then the second part. You see that from two very basic elements. This is, remember, this is popular music. You know, by combining them, something very nice came out. And now I'm just going to play Greensleeves from you with the powerful means, technological means I have. I'm not going to sing because you don't deserve that. So use my kazoo. Yes, dear, I have a kazoo. But now, okay, this is okay. Greensleeves still is a piece from the 15th century. It's something from a long time ago. And now you're thinking, yeah, but you said from the Renaissance to New Orleans to nowadays, and where is the nowadays? Well, especially people in the Netherlands and in Belgium will for sure know singer called Jacques Brel, which is singer actually I like quite a lot. He was a singer from Brussels, very famous, especially in the 60s and 70s. Jacques Brel wrote a lovely song called Amsterdam, and you will hear now it's based exactly on the bass of Greensleeves. So, a song from the 60s based on harmonic progression of the Renaissance. So you see, my father would say, "It's always you always hear the same music." Well, I guess he's right in this case. I'm going to sing it for you in my uptented French. I still don't know why I don't get fired from an orchestra in France with how badly I can pronounce it, but here's for you. Jacques Brel, Amsterdam, on the harmony of Greensleeves. Dans les ports d'Amsterdam, il y a des marins qui chantent les rêves qu'ils ont, l'âge d'Amsterdam. Dans les ports d'Amsterdam, il y a des marins qui dorment comme des oriflammes, les langues d'hébergement. Dans les ports d'Amsterdam, il y a des marins qui meurent pleins de bière et de drames au premier lieu. Dans les ports d'Amsterdam, il y a des marins qui naissent dans les chaleureux pays des langues au chien. If there's any French speaker, I apologize. But anyway, so you see, again, a structure, an harmonic structure from the Renaissance, which was pop music back then, has become pop music in our age. Remarkable, isn't that? But now, let's get to something new. Let's go to another ground bass called Canario, which comes from the Canary Islands, of course. This is a dance from there, and what is particular is this rhythm. For the musician listeners, it's like ta 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 tam 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 ta 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 tam tam ta. So 2 and 3, like a composite and a simple tempo. That gives this, it makes you wanna dance when you hear that. Now, let's see how this thing sounds and if perhaps it inspired somebody nowadays. So you see, from the Canary Island in the 16th century to West Side Story to the United States in the 60s with Leonard Bernstein. And you could argue that, of course, this is a quite basic rhythm that you can also find in other situations, it's not special, But Leonard Bernstein was a great knower of dances and of popular music. So I strongly believe that he knew the Canario as well. And that's where it came from. Hi, wait, I can't read so well. Hi, Dog Mossy, greetings from the Netherlands. Thank you for listening. Now I will have to do something that who plays instruments with gut strings has to do all the time. Tune. We spend 60% of our life in it. Give me a moment. Very, very. Oh yeah. You know the feeling, right? Okay. Let's go on, and let's go on to one of my favorite tunes, ground basses from the late Renaissance, early Baroque, which is La Folia. La Folia, which you're going to hear now, is a Spanish is a Spanish ground bass. Folia in Spanish or in Italian also means madness, and you will hear it's a very poignant, very let's say powerful and sentimental. Let's say ostinato. It can express from desperation, from sadness up to rage, fury. It's crazy. It's very crazy. And I will first play the old way, the traditional way, but then, and in the meanwhile, I'd ask you if you could think about where you've heard it before, out of the Renaissance Baroque environment. I'm quite sure all of you have heard it, one way or another. Oh! Yes, I know who you are. Hi, Otam. Good to hear. Alright, let me find it. Okay, La Folia. if it's warm today. Can I say? So, thank you there. So, yeah, exactly. This is the character of La Folia, to be, energetic, fiery, as you say. Now, I have to tell you, I'm old enough to remember that the movie coming out. So, in the early 90s, I heard La Folia for the very first time. Now, God, it's hot weather for everything today. Anyway, I was saying, I heard La Folia for the very first time, although I didn't know what it was. And it was in a movie. It was in a movie that I watched with my parents when I was small. A very nice movie, I remember, called Conquest of Paradise. I don't know if any of you have seen that. With the soundtrack written by Vangelis. And there was this beautiful melodic theme on harmony that, as a matter of fact, is nothing else but La Folia. I think I fell in love with this ground bass, probably also because of that. Let me play it for you. So, this is the soundtrack of this movie, and it's literally based on La Folia. Like before for Jacques Brel, who took the harmony and sang something new on it. That's what Vangelis did. I mean, it's legit and it's copyright free, so why not? You don't risk a lawsuit. And I think it's great actually, and it's a great tribute to Womb, amazing music in the past. Now, let me have a bit of water. We stay in Spain for the moment, and we go to another, which is, for me, in my opinion, probably the most interesting ground bass for its influence in the history of music. Hang on. What I'm going now to perform is a passacaglia. Passacaglia, or pasacalle in Spanish, literally means walking along the street. It's a descending bass line. That is this. As you can see, regardless of the speed, I can even play, but slow or fast, it gives this sensation of walking, as the name says, and it's an extremely powerful ground bass, because on it you can express, sadness, you can express melancholy, or you can express again like rage or happiness even. If something is in minor, is not necessarily sad. And this has been used a lot in the history of music. In the Renaissance, in the Baroque era, like there are so many passacaglias that are very beautiful. Whoever plays Baroque music has played at least once. But what is very, very remarkable for me is the influence it is had in later and in much later music. But let's go step by step. So now I am going to perform, to improvise on a passacaglia bass. What you're hearing, you might have heard it on the street of Madrid in 1590, let's say. So you are walking, and you could hear something like this. May play with a guitar. But now, let's skip a couple of centuries and let's go overseas. We're not in Spain anymore, we're in the United States. We're in New Orleans, or in Atlanta, Georgia, or in Richmond, Virginia, this place where the blues music was developing. There you hear a passacaglia as well, just with another rhythm. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Don't you say, hit the road, Jack, don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, don't you come back no more. So, now every time that you hear Ray Charles singing Hit the Road Jack, well, you know that you're listening to a modern passacaglia, very bluesy, very jazzy, and amazing. I love Ray Charles, but he stole it from the Spanish pop music of the 15th century. So lucky him that there was no copyright. And I could find another passacaglia in modern music by taking a look at the records of my mother from the 70s, because there was a song they would listen a lot to while going to the discos. Song by a band called Santa Esmeralda, and this song is called "Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood," which, with our powerful technological mean, I'm going to try to reproduce. Come on, please don't let me be misunderstood. Again, most Spanish thing ever, the passacaglia, in the disco music of the 70s. It blew my mind, I have to say that, but I loved it, of course. Now, guys, we are quite ahead with the program. That is, yeah, I guess so. So, there is now one last ground bass that I'm going to play, because which is my favorite, and is the one with which I always close the programs, because I think it's one of the most amazing ever. But before that, I would like to suggest you something about this matter, which is this book. Let me see if it's visible. This book is called, especially for a musician, but it's actually for everyone, called Upon a Ground by Edition Valal, and it's a book about ground basses, about their development and about how to improvise on them. It's very interesting because it tells you the story, but it's not a heavy book. It's not, let's say, a big lecturing pedantic book. It's actually very practical. There are examples, and you really learn how to improvise on it. And last but not least, you get 2 CDs included, one of 415, one of 440, and you can improvise on them. You can learn how to do it with it. So I found it extremely useful. I learned how to play this music on it. It's not even, I remember it, there's no price on it, but it was something like 20 euros, so it's not crazy expensive. So I really suggest you to get it. It's really nice. I really enjoyed it. Now, I am going to play my favorite ground bass. This which is very nice to close, and any singer here in the chat, Kat knows it for sure, because there are very beautiful songs, beautiful arias written on it, and it's called the Ciaccona. The Ciaccona is a very Italian thing. It's a very Italian ground bass. It's extremely jolly. It's wonderful for such a nice summer day. Although I'm melting, but it's really nice. And I'm going to play it for you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for listening. And by the way, if you have any questions, or you would like me maybe to play again something or anything, please write it in the chat. I'm here for you. Thank you, Yotam. So let's get to it. Chacona. Oh ho ho. Okay. Well, reviews with a kazoo definitely can happen. Thank you, bass boy, by the way. Thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure for me to be here with you. Check out the channel schedule for the next concert. Follow it, subscribe, stay with us. We love you. So listen to the next streams. All the best, my friend. Wish you a great day.
Thank you so much to Severiano. That was absolutely brilliant. I had such a fun time, and thank you for also doing Greensleeves again. I really enjoyed the Greensleeves. I was so surprised when you brought out the kazoo, and very happy. Sorry, Woozy wants to say hello to everyone. So this is my cat Woozle. That was so much fun. Thank you so much again, Severiano. If you want to check out Severiano, you can go to his website, which I put a link for in the chat. Again, it's basically just severianopaoli.com. And if you liked what he did, chuck him a buck via the PayPal. Just make sure you include his name so that I can make sure he gets it. We have a new follower. that I'm going to mispronounce this name, but it's Dime000S. Thank you very much for following us. And as I said before, the musicians who perform on here at the moment do it out of the kindness of their heart and also for any donations that you give. But I'm hoping that if we can get enough subscribers that I can start paying them some actual money rather than just the donations. So for now, donations if you can, that'd be great. But also if you feel like you have a €5 a month, we'd really love your subscription. Trying to get to 20 by the 1st of August, which is my birthday. And if you can't subscribe, please do follow, because that also really helps. So I'm going to quickly get up the graphic for what's coming up. Here it is. So this is all of our concerts in June. And as you see, we've gone through most of them. So we've only got one left. And then after that, I will let you get the schedule out for July. But we have stuff booked all throughout July as well. So the next stream is going to be on, is it this Saturday? This Saturday? 27th? 28th. This Sunday, the 28th. So that is going to be myself and Elizabeth Hetherington, another soprano. We're going to be doing folk songs and sea shanties from the Liverpool docks to all the way to Canada. So a lot of Stan Rogers. That's the joint stream. I'm about to mention that. Yep. So that's Stan Rogers, folk from Liverpool, which is where my family's from, all the way to Canario, which is where Lizzie's from. I don't know why I said it like that. And that is going to be a co-stream with Yenting Low, who is a wonderful jazz musician who you should all go check out. She has her own Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/YentingLow, and I think she does 3 times a week streams at the moment. So she does 3 weekly streams where she just performs her own originals and also jazz standards, just herself on the piano. It's absolutely brilliant. You should go check that out. And yeah, next Sunday, this Sunday? Sunday the 28th, whenever that is. Who knows during these times. Sunday the 28th at 3 o'clock, she's going to be streaming for an hour over on her channel, and we'll host that here. Then we're all going to migrate over to this channel at 4 o'clock for Lizzie and I, which is Barrett's Privateers, which is the folk and sea shanties. So we do hope you can join for at least some of that. It's going to be a lot of fun, both the jazz and then the folk. And then after that, you will see what is coming up in July. But we have lots of exciting acts for you coming up in July as well, so stay tuned for that. You can also check us out over on Facebook, and we're also on Twitter, and we have a YouTube where I upload all of these. They hang around on Twitch for, I think, 2 weeks, but then they get deleted off of Twitch, so if there's any streams you missed that were more than 2 weeks ago, they're all over on the YouTube, so you can go check those out. All the links are here on Twitch. It's all in the socials. So, yeah. Hope you can join us for some more streams, and stay safe, everyone.